snap reactions after the Ole Miss game to what was going wrong in the run defense with a little bit more time to go over the film. What do you think were some of the biggest issues y'all had there?
Yeah, we was having problems keeping the edge, so they got the ball out on the perimeter a lot. It was hitting for a lot, and then a few runs on the inside bust too. We had a couple misfits, but that's really all it is. And so really just misfits and then missed tackles. We had, I think, 20 missed tackles on D, about or a little over that, and all those hit for big gains. So yeah.
Is there anything y'all are doing in practice this week or think possibly emphasizing, because Arkansas is similar kind of run?
Yeah, big emphasis on not even just defense, on offense too, just doing your job. You know what I'm saying? We got guys who's, really just lose focus because you worry about, I don't know whether there's a lack of trust or something with the guy next to you, but just focus on your job and doing it at your fullest ability, and then, of course, wrapping up.
When you transition and look at KJ in this Arkansas run game, does it make it even more important? Because I guess it's a different type of run game a little bit, but it's a downhill physical run game, isn't it?
Of course, yeah. You got to be ready for the QB run, and they got some good backs too. So everybody got to be on their P's and Q's this week.
So following up on that, kind of what stands out about the running back specifically in kind of his games? He's posted some really good numbers this year.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's the leading rusher. I just got done watching his tape just now, but 5, he's real patient dude. Doesn't bounce the ball a lot, stays on his track the whole time, and they got a damn good old line too. So it's going to be a good challenge for us this week, man. We just got to stay disciplined, can't have guys hopping out of gaps, and just win at the line of scrimmage, be physical this game.
Can you guys get a lot better as a football team in the final 5 games, and if you can, what needs to happen to make that happen?
Really kind of like what I just said a few times, just doing your job, everybody doing their job, because, every time we cut the film on Sunday, it's misassignment here. Quarterback didn't see this, linebacker misfit, D-line got cut out his gap, so really just everybody focusing on, giving it 100% on what they got to get done and executing it to their fullest ability, because I know our record doesn't show it, but I feel like we have a way better team than what our record shows, but we just got to go out here for these last 5 games and show the world that, so yeah.
I think you guys can pick it up.
I believe we can turn it around. Yes, sir.
When the bye week has come at a good time for you guys in the past, how beneficial did you feel like last week was for this team, because the guys are beaten up and just because of where the team was?
Yeah, it was great, man. We got some guys nicked up and bruised up. Just a good time for us to get healthy and do a lot of self-reflection, just looking in the mirror, viewing the things that we did wrong from the beginning of the season and knowing what we needed to attack last week in practice. And I feel like we had a really good week last week, those few practices that we had, and we're going full speed into this week.
Is it almost like pushing a reset button a little bit, going, hey, let's take a deep breath and kind of...
Yeah, breath of fresh air, yeah. The guys, we had a little break too, got to go home, see fam and all that. So everybody here is refreshed and, we're ready to go now.
Alex Houston, 1819 News. Owen, shifting gears a bit, earlier in the season you talked about might be some sort of uniform surprise coming in the season. You only have about 3 home games left.
Yeah.
You got any expectations for something coming out this Saturday?
I don't know. I'm in the dark right now, so we're going to find out.
Yes, Owen. Jeremiah Wright, coach talked about him bringing a lot of energy, just has sort of an attitude, offensive line. What have you seen out there from him on the practice field?
He's just a dog, man. He talk trash too, so it make you want to be on your biggest game. So he, what I'm saying, he's just a competitor, man. He's a nasty old lineman, real physical, and I think he brings a lot of energy to the old line. He gets those guys to play better. Yeah.
Owen, what were you able to do during the bye week? I know Harshman talked a lot about guys recovering. What does that process look like for you?
For me, really, I'm a rehab addict, you know what I'm saying? So I got people back at the crib I go see, from massage therapists to, doing hyperbaric chambers, cryotherapy, different stuff, needling, really just everything to get back. It's close to 100% as I can, because we midway through the season, nobody going to be 100 for real, but it's all about, it's like a race to every Saturday feeling as close as you can to 100%. But I just went through my regular routine that I do. I had a little extra time, you know what I'm saying? So it was good.
Well, Bias Hoophorn, AL.com, Derek, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, man. When you look at the bye week, one, what did you do to recover? And then how do you take that recovery into the next couple of weeks?
Right. So initially, last week at the Ole Miss, I got asked a question about the grind of the season. and how that went. So the bye week was beneficial for us, especially after playing 7 weeks of ball. And recovery was huge. We think Coach Harsin did a great job of, trying to make sure everybody gets a chance to recover and get this team back healthy, and that's going to be beneficial for us. Obviously, coming this weekend, coming off a week and getting a chance to relax and rest. So, I think the bye week was very beneficial.
Derek, Harsin just told us about Zeke leaving the program or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just for you guys now, you kind of being at the top, one of the veterans on that D line, with the depth you guys kind of have, what is your role in making sure that guys are knowing that situation and maybe I guess over the course of the game, making sure that they're keeping themselves right in terms of a fatigue standpoint if you guys don't have as much depth as you would like?
Right. So obviously, like you said, Z decided to make that decision, and we wish him the best of luck. He's a great guy, and I feel like he'll find a good home, wherever he goes. But as far as this team goes, that's really not something we're focusing on. We still have to move forward. We still have to do games to play. So the biggest thing about depth, we've been doing pretty good all year about keeping guys rotated in. So that's really in our job. Our job is to go out and play as hard as we can, as fast as we can, for however long it takes. I think the coach's job is to worry about rotation and depth and things like that. And obviously, certain guys want to come in and certain guys don't want to go out. You have to take that in a factor too, and just know when the guy's fatigued and when he's not. So I think that's just the biggest response to that instant.
Tom from Reno.com. What have you seen from Jeremiah Wright now that he's got that first start? Just what's it been like for him? Kind of flip-flop back and forth between offensive line, defensive line, and now finally kind of settling in at that one position.
Right. Jeremiah's always been a guy that I feel like can play both sides of the ball. He can be disruptive on D-line, and obviously pretty good O-lineman too. Just coming out and the way he prepares and the way he practices throughout the week. And, we jaw a lot at each other, but, it's always because he's been on that side of the ball with us. And, it's a lot of fun going up against him. And when he wins a rep, he talks. When we wins a rep, we talk. So it's pretty fun. But, I think he's doing overall a really good job at that position. And, obviously, it's showing up on game day.
Does he have kind of a mean streak to him when he's playing offensive line like that?
Oh yeah, you have to. Playing against guys in this league, guys are big, guys are physical, so you have to have some things that get you going, and just really get you going.
Arkansas runs more than pretty much any team in the country this season. Just what have you seen from their running game? You guys have had some struggles the last couple of weeks. What do you think is going to be the key to kind of slowing them down?
All right, just fixing the mistakes that we made. I think the biggest thing. Obviously, have the leading rusher in the SEC. I think he's top 10 in the country or something like that. And Raheem Sanders, and a really good back. Have a really good quarterback with KJ, and I think they use both those guys really well in the run game. They're both dynamic, and they're both really athletic, and can move the ball down the field pretty quickly. So, like I said, fit's going to be the biggest thing for us this week. Just really making sure everybody's playing their gap, everybody playing fundamentally sound football, playing complementary of each other, everyone doing their 1-11. I think that'll show up on Saturdays if we do that.
Anybody else?
A little bit of an off-the-wall question here, but obviously you're busy with football, but you're a noted Jungle member. Are you going to be able to watch Houston Rockets versus Utah with Jabari and Walker playing against each other?
Oh yeah, I saw Walker. I watched a little bit of the game when they played the Pelicans and things like that. So I haven't saw Jabari play much, but whenever I'm really flipping through the channels and I see the Utah or Houston, obviously I'm going to support those guys because they did the same thing for us. Walker came back this year. We had this ceremony and he was there to support us. So I'll definitely get a chance to tune in a little bit. I don't know how much, but I'll definitely get a chance to tune in.
Anybody else? All right.
Thanks, Derek.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
For you guys, how beneficial was a bye week? You've been around here a long time. You know how important they can be. How beneficial was it for this team?
Yeah, well, especially this time of the season, everyone's beat up really across the country. So just it's a lot of physical, but really mental. Just stepping away from the game for a few days last weekend and just being able to think about something else and not worry about, getting ready for a game or anything like that, which it really does help. You feel fresh when you come back to the facility. You feel like you're ready to go for these last 5 games. So it is crucial, especially for guys that are banged up. Just getting them back healthy. You get really 2 weeks to get back healthy. So it's critical for a lot of teams, and it really was critical for this team.
A lot of people think about it from the physical standpoint. You mentioned how important is it mentally just to kind of reset button?
Yeah, you can focus on your own things. You don't have to really focus on ball. You can Like I went out to the farm and just relaxed and, didn't have a worry, which is what I advise a lot of the guys to do is just step away. You don't have to do a lot, just because it wears on you week by week when you do certain things and the monotony of the season and just the trajectory of the season that it was going and being able to step away and try and refocus and get back to doing things the right way.
Shane, Vice President of ALS.com. When you look at the first few games, first 7 games, what do you take away from those, and how can you improve going forward through the next 5?
Well, I feel like early in the year, we're making the same mistakes over and over again, and that was really just why we weren't having success. I thought we played better towards the end here with Ole Miss, but we lost the game for the same mistakes. So we're repeat offenders on certain mistakes that cost us football games, especially in the SEC. You got to play good, clean football, and that's what Coach Harson's been preaching. Just play clean. You're hard to beat when you're playing clean football, not penalties, not turning the ball over and giving teams opportunities. So I think that was the big emphasis, and moving forward, that'll obviously be the emphasis for the rest of the season.
Shenker, when you guys had an opportunity to look at it more on film, what were some of those biggest keys to getting the run game going against Ole Miss?
Yeah, well, we knew playing Ole Miss, and I've played them now for a while. If you can run the football on Ole Miss, you can win the game. And we knew that going in. Just the mistakes early, I thought we fought back well, but just turn the ball over and the little things to get down 21-0. They hurt us really, I think, mentally. But once we realized that we could just run the football, we had a lot of confidence. I think if we can get back to that and knowing that if we can, when we want to go out on the field and run the football, we can. The offense has a ton of confidence, and it's hard to stop. And so I think that's something we can focus on and really emphasize moving forward is we do have that confidence. We're running the football well, and we're able to do that a lot if we want to.
Are you implementing, kind of helping implement that same mindset this week? Because y'all have run the ball in the time you've been here against Arkansas really well a few times, and it's helped a lot.
Yeah, and early in the season we did the same, and we were running the football well, and then it kind of depleted, and then it came back. So if we can just get consistent in that, because most of the times in the SEC, the team that rushes the ball the best is going to win the football game, and that comes from a physicality and all those things, and so that is a huge key moving forward.
What have you seen out of Jeremiah Wright over the last couple of weeks? How have you seen him make his confidence grow since they just started against Ole Miss?
Yeah, the only thing he's missing is playing time and just experience. He's a really big guy. He's really powerful. So I'm happy to see him out there and getting experience. He's still young, so there's certain things that he's going to have to learn throughout his experience. But I love what I've seen from him. He's a tough guy. He's had some injuries, so he's had to fight back from those. But I feel like he's done really well so far.
John, could you talk about how much better this team could possibly get if you eliminate the mistakes and sort of what you're seeing as you think?
Well, I think the team understands it now. Just seeing what we did against Ole Miss and still having those mistakes, but still being able to put up points. So I think the team understands it. Now it's about actually going out and doing it. We can talk all we want, but we have to be able to play the game on Saturday at the best of our ability. So we can do all the preparation and talk we want, but on Saturdays is when we have to be at our best.
Do you think the team is really motivated to make that happen?
I do. I think we saw that in Ole Miss. I mean, we could have easily given up in that game, but we fought back and made it a really good ball game and should have won the game. So, yeah, there's no quit in the team. We can see that we fight every week, so that's to be expected.
Jeremiah's beating his chest and beating himself in the head and doing something. Like when you see guys that fired up about playing, does that bleed into the rest of the offense?
100%. And I think, it was awesome to see that against Ole Miss with Jeremiah. And I, for the most part, I think most of the guys have that. They just don't show it in certain ways. But I think if we could get to that point, even early in games where we're doing that and we're real upbeat, it's even more demoralizing for the opponent to see that and to understand the mindset of our team. So yeah, I agree. I think seeing that from guys is awesome, especially on the O-line where it's a physical game and that's where games are won and lost.
What stands out about Arkansas's defense when you've been able to watch them on film and kind of what are going to be some keys for y'all this week?
Well, they're good. They have two really good linebackers, Bumper Pool and Drew Sanders, the transfer. And Coach Pittman always has those guys play very physical. They play really hard. So there'll be another challenge. They're your normal SEC defense. They're very talented, very athletic, and they trust their guys. Coach Pittman does. So it'll be fun. I'm excited. I haven't gotten super into them lately, but I just know their overall scheme pretty much. But Coach Pappoe will have those guys ready, I'm sure.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Thanks, John.